Welcome to Factorio Space Exploration. This is the recap of stream day 28, and my name is Nilaus, in case you were in doubt. So that was a day where I had grand plans and then Factorio happened. That's kind of, I think we've all been here if we had all played this game, where we have some grand plans, and my grand plan was actually getting the liquids needed for our orbital base and send that up there, because we had down here we have a lot of things ready to go to space. So what I wanted to do was build similar locations, like maybe 3 launch locations here, each launching some water, petroleum, and heavy oil. That would be quite convenient, getting that to space in a nice and orderly fashion. Except what happened first was that we all know that there is a grand raid coming in. These locations were fired up, ready to go. They defended the raid admirably, and as that happened, the power utilization spiked. Now we have salted, that's kind of the whole point of this episode, but it spiked, which meant the satisfaction here went below 50%. When it goes below 50%, roboports stop working. See, they need to have an internal electricity buffer. When the electricity buffer drops below a certain threshold, this is 50%, then they just get the blinking battery, and they no longer provide the roboport zone. So why does that have an impact? Well, I have this transmission here. This one is transmitting, or is receiving, from space the amount of materials that is in space. You can see, if I hover, you can see a lot of materials out here, and this is actually modeled on the roboport. You can see it says construction area, all that stuff. So this is a roboport. Now what happens is that if this one loses electricity, then it stops receiving the signal. When this signal stops receiving, it sends a blank signal instead. The blank signal is interpreted as there is nothing in space, which meant that as soon as we started the game, missile defense activated, power tanked, this stopped receiving signal, and then all of the rockets, every single rocket launched to space with emergency supplies to the base that we no longer received replies from. Oops. And what happened subsequently was the entire base kicked into gear, trying to resupply all the rockets at once. This is also why you can see here, this is quite 62,000 red circuits. That's too much. 53,000, 51,000, 51,000, 51,000, 25,000. Those numbers are just too high. They just launched an extra rocket of all of these. Luckily, these were set to manual, and they're not actually receiving enough even. This one, 32,000. Oops. That actually looks like a mistake here. This one shouldn't be 32,000. This should be capped at 30,000. Oh, it should be capped at 18. I guess these ones are not set to red. Oh well, I guess we know why we have been sucking up all the blue for a very long time. So at that point, we were caught in a very bad loop. I had to disable all of these, set them to manual. I did that like 10 seconds before it crashed again and would have set off another set of rockets. So lucky there. I had to disable my power, and then we started the edge. So what we had on our list was nuclear power plant, iron, solid fuel, liquids to space. Then I started, because I'm an idiot, I started, or because of a greedy bastard, maybe more like it, I decided this is a great opportunity to build a giant power sucking iron power plant, or iron mine. So that's apparently what I decided to do, and it was awesome. It was glorious. What the hell? What's that? All that nature doing? Huh. That's odd. Oh, this one is not linked because that one can't place these. Oh, that means this one. Now I'm playing on a local version, so it's totally irrelevant. But I'm still gonna do it here, just because of reasons. Alright, so what I built was this thing, and I'm quite proud of it. I really like it. It's exactly what I wanted. It's everything I ever wanted from an iron mine. Do I have massive iron mine? What is it? 20 million? It's now only 18. So yeah, it's sucking up a lot. Oh, never mind. Going here, 9 lanes out, going into this nice sweet box. The box is going through these lines. Let's see if I can do this. Here, 32 along this lane. This 32 is now is using 160%. Oh, it doesn't seem much, but each one of these is using half a megawatt, and you know, there are kind of a few. There's 200 of them, so half a megawatt. It's about 100 megawatts. I mean, round numbers. So 100 megawatts, just like that, I added to an already strained power supply. Well, guess what happened? It was not a good time. So I kind of panicked. We had to shut things off, but the fact of this is I now have quite a lot. You see here, 53,000, 53,000, 153. So that's 450,000 iron plus whatever here. So we have more than 500,000 iron just waiting to be picked up. Very nice. I stamped down some blueprints, just to some solar panels, just to take the ease off of the easing off of the load of the network. That it does help a bit. But then the big topic of the day, the thing that really took over everything, was looking at the nuclear power plant. So we've taken some of these out so that it has more proper ratio. But at this point, I was actually really, I was really puzzled why I was still struggling with power. I've just cut down some things and it should be good, but this one was struggling. Which at that point I found out this had happened. Ignore this. This is what we built. The iron coming in from the starter base had simply stopped. Now I'm going to do like the worst hack, right? There we go. I just want to drain this. It doesn't matter because it's actually this one. So it had stopped producing nuclear fuel, and it had actually run out. 2 of these power plants were no longer fueled, so it was running on 4 powers, and I had to just throw everything into the wind and just get on with it. So we do have enough basic supplies here, but we didn't have enough iron for something as basic as this, and this is just chucking through the iron very quickly. So here we have so that had to be fixed, and you can see it's just a temporary fix, because my intention is I need to move this whole area to a dedicated block, which is also something I started on. But the first thing was that I actually saw that even when it was performing well, it wasn't always able to keep the heat all the way at the end when it was operating near full capacity, and that's a problem. So I decided that I want to redesign this in a different way, where the power plants were in the middle and everything was around. So I did that. And trust me, that's not an easy thing. That is not easy, at least not for me. I'm desperately trying to figure out where I am. Yeah. Let's go up here. Oh, that's not actually very far away. Going through the Badlands. Can't believe we still have Badlands inside of our city blocks here. Well, not even inside city blocks, but at least inside of our domain. That's because we still have 32 million iron to cap. I'm gonna take this one out soon though. So we're heading to, well, you know what, I'd like you to use this. So I designed a new nuclear power plant. And right to destination, keep your arms and legs inside until this comes to a complete halt. Why is this not working? Yeah. There's no point, this one shouldn't work. And let's build some of these so we have better options for moving around. Oh yeah, and by the way, the entire time there's some kind of problem with the multiplayer currently, that it is rubber banding like crazy, so it's almost impossible for me to stay on a path, because I basically, when I do a click, it goes like it moves at least 4 tiles when I'm just with a single little click. So this is the glorious new design. I am so happy about it, and trust me, it took a while to do. Now it had some constraints here. This one, it's fed by 8 pipes, which meant that I had to be able to get the pipes around the other power plant, which is what I do here. I get 4 on the other side. Sorry, 4 on the other side, getting up here 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. It's a nice symmetric pattern. It looks glorious. It is glorious. And it seems to be working really well. These are empty because once these are up and running, like really seriously up and running, I will deconstruct these two and move them up here. Now, what this one does is it brings in the fuel here on the red belt, and then it goes in and inputs it on the inside rotation or inside belt that just rotates around, gets saturated and happy. Then it outputs the spent fuel on the outside belt, which will then be filtered off at this location and be brought back through belt weaving and in here. And that pattern is repeating. You can see, let's go to this one. You can see here, this is the good stuff coming in, going up here, going in, that's this one, going in this one. See, they are ready to go, but they just haven't been built yet. And this will give us, each of these gives us about 800, I think 800 megawatts. So let's actually see. This one is 40 megawatts plus neighborhood bonus. So this is 160 plus 160, and this is 120 plus 120. So 12 plus 12, so that's 48 plus 32. Yeah, that's 800. So that's 32. No, so it's 3.2 gigawatts from this location. That should get us going for a bit. And if nothing else, then we can always just build another one. For example, this location seems almost good enough. It has to be sort of leaning into the water somehow. That means something like... This one is not good because I still need this space here. But anyway, we can probably find other places where we could build it. Like this one, for example. This would be an excellent location to build it. Just use a bit of landfill. So this one really took quite a while, and my intention is that, and this is what we started on but did not complete, I will just look at that from the map, is that we now take this location here where we already have our single uranium deposit. We need to figure out where there is more uranium on the map, because currently we have not discovered any. I can't believe that. That's something I didn't think of. And we've used half of the 2 million. So, and if we just scale up to double size, then it might just actually become an issue. That's going to be interesting. Also because we have to send some of these uranium things to space. So it's all very interesting and scary a bit. So, but the idea here is this location will do all the nuclear processing. It will have an inbound for the spent, not the used up uranium fuel, but the spent. And it'll have the provider, it will have iron coming in, and it will have sulfur coming in. So sulfur and iron will make sulfuric acid needed for the processing. The iron will go in together with the processed uranium and make the fuel cells. And that should basically be it. So that's the first thing we need to do next time, is build this location. Simply move it from here somehow in a safe and orderly manner. Once that's done, we decommission these and move them up to that location. Now, currently this location is not protected by missile defense. That's probably something that should happen. Yeah, I think that would be a great idea. And there's actually ample space just to place them here, 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 or even in the middle here. So we can definitely defend this adequately from any meteor strikes. So unfortunately, we did not do what we wanted to do in terms of supplying liquids to space, but that's what happens. I did have the power as a to-do for quite a while, but now it kind of came knocking on my door and demanded some attention. So it got the attention, and once this is done, we should have both not only just the 3.2 gigawatts of power, but also a sustainable way to scale it up by simply stamping down more of those as and when we need it. Yeah, we could maybe also do something over here. This one, if we just get rid of this could also be a nuclear power plant location. So definitely we have solved it. It's working great, and the base is getting back on track. There's still so many things to do. This is amazing mod pack with an amount of of work that has to go into it. So I'm really enjoying myself, and this is going to run all summer. I can guarantee you that. So keep it up. Just thank you for joining on stream. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me that I can keep doing this, and we can call it some silly things like supplying concrete. But at the end of the day, I know that you're supporting me, and that allows me to continue doing what I love, and apparently, hopefully also what you love. So thank you for your support. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you will join the stream if it's at all possible. Otherwise, you know, the recaps are available, and so are the VODs. If you want to watch the entire VOD section, then you can find the link in the description below. Thank you for watching. As always, stay effective.